Hi everyone. Hello. Welcome to our podcast. Today's podcast is of interest to many people because they've written to me asking me, what is the shortcut to success? Everybody wants to know if there is a shortcut. In the conscious method, there is a shortcut. That shortcut helps us to understand what is the difference when you succeed, when you want a shortcut, what is the difference when you use two different kinds of path? Understanding that is very critical for you to succeed. So, if you want long term success, you should focus on intensity. If you want quick results, focus on interest. What does that mean? It means interest is not a long term thing. It can be lost at any time. But intensity comes from deep within. So, interest is usually mind based. It could be based because you have friends who share the same interests. It could be because you live in a place where these kind of activities are promoted. So, you're interested in doing it. Whereas intensity comes from within. It's a yearning within you. It's a deep yearning within you. That is intensity. When intensity comes from the being, it is not interested in short term interest. You are looking at long term goals. You're looking at how to make it happen. When you work intensely towards a goal, it actually shortens the time to achieve the goal. It's very quick. You can actually achieve that goal very fast. So, intensity comes from a being. What happens after this intensity grows? The intensity you plant grows into many other branches. Because when you look deeply into a subject and you're looking deep within, you actually feel a thirst to know more, to become good in that, to become an expert in that. So the more and the more and the more you think about it, the more intense you become. You actually become a subject matter expert because of your intensity. Intensity is critical for success as a conscious based principle. Why? Because interest is always based on mind. You can change your mind. And the mind, you know how it is. Today it is very intense. Tomorrow, for some very small reason, the mind may just drop the whole thing. How many times we have seen we ourselves, oh, this is so interesting, let me take it up. But within 4 or 5 weeks, we don't feel the enthusiasm. We don't feel that this is going to help us in anything. We actually feel depressed at the thought of having to do it. That is why intensity is the key and the shortcut to success. Because you will be endlessly creative if you are intense. Someone in our inner circle, meditation circle, asked me, what is the difference between intensity and interest? Intensity and interest is like, the difference is like asking between, what is the difference between light and a laser? See, both of them are composed of light. Light and laser, both of them are composed of light. But what is the difference? The difference is the light is scattered, whereas laser is focused. Intensity is focused, interest is scattered. So when you want to figure out where you want to put all your energy in, then you go on like a interest fishing expedition. You just go on looking at what interests you and then what you feel intense about. Once you find something that is intensely interesting for you, it attracts deeper attention. You don't mind spending hours and hours on it. That is when you should say, okay, I have found a focus for which I can be intense. Your whole being becomes engaged when you are intense. You do not worry how long it is going to take to go to the next step, because you are learning, you're experiencing, you're discovering, you're in the joy of that space. The same difference that is between light and laser, even though both are made of light rays, the single pointed intense focus of the laser comes, with that comes power, with that comes coherence, with that comes the intense knowledge. When you scatter it, you do not get the same intensity. Both have their purpose, both have their power. But in terms of what you want to achieve, the best tool for a shortcut to achieve success remains intensity. Power of intensity actually gives us a laser of tremendous power. Because of our intensity, we find ways through most difficult problems. See, laser can actually burn a hole through a metal because of this intensity. Same way, when we are focused, when we are intense, and when we are working on it, what we see is controlled focus gives us more power. You do not have to invest more time in it, but you just invest more attention to it. You dedicate more intensity to it. It is that intensity which gives you the depth. It is that intensity which makes you do things faster, because you don't want 12 years or 2000 years or 12 million years to be there. You just want to do it now. You want to do it well, and you are interested in transforming. Even if it is self transformation, you want to do it because that is where your intensity is taking you. You become so self motivated, you become so inward when you start taking this path of intensity. Understanding this big difference, that you need everything in life, you need to have interest, but interest is not intensity. It is never equal to intensity. Interest always comes from mind. Your interest can be long or short. You can be fed up with your own interest, or you can say, I can do, I can do this later. But when it comes to intensity, you are never able to turn it off. You are never able to say, I'm going to do this later. Intensity is the core of our being. If we want to listen to ourselves, if we want to feed ourselves with consciousness, we just have to be intense about it. What does that mean? Does that mean you don't eat, you don't sleep, you don't do anything else, you're just focusing on it? No, it doesn't mean that. It just means you just decide that no distraction is worth removing your attention from this. You just decide that you're going to know more and more and more about this. You just decide that you are going to go drill deep down into this. Even though you may spend some time in checking out other interests and things like that, your main source, your main interest, your main goal is always that focus. And how can you get this focus? How can you do this? There are so many methods to get this focus. You can just pick one thing that really is of deep interest to you, so you can develop that intensity. Once you develop that intensity, consistently work on it. Even the days you feel like I don't feel like even getting up from the bed. What do you mean I have to work on it? Every day you must make time to work on it. Whether it is for a short time, whether it is for a long time, doesn't matter. Work on it consistently, work on it sincerely. Every day you learn deeper truths. Drop your ignorance. Intensity makes us drop our ignorance. And it will ultimately lead us to enlightenment. It is such a beautiful principle that we can apply for everything in our life. We offer mentoring sessions. There is a 5-week mentoring program. If you're interested in learning how to empower yourself in this manner, you can join. You can also join our Sattvic body course, where you learn how to intensely identify and grow with your body. Watch our daily Gita podcasts. Every day we post tips on how to be in this intense space. Because our life is multifaceted. Krishna gives us tips for everything in our life. I welcome all of you to use all these resources to become more and more intense in whatever you want to do. Because that intensity is the shortcut for your success. The more intense you get, the more easier things become, the more proficient you become. You can invest less time in doing things that you know are going to be super easy to do. It is an amazing promise. Intensity is an amazing promise. It is your potential, it is your birthright. Everybody has the birthright to become intense, to do everything with intensity, because intensity is the key to success. The more intense we become, the more proficient we become. And why is all this necessary? Because success is often just a fluency. How fluent are you? That's what matters. Think, think, think. Become more intense in whatever you do. Whether it is you're just cooking, you're not just cooking. Be so intense in it, you understand the chemistry of what is happening. You're talking to a friend. Pay attention to what they're saying. Or how is their tone of voice? What is it that is coming out of them? Intensity, deep intensity, opens your intuition. That is the path for enlightenment. Doing our daily tasks intensely itself can lead you to enlightenment. Isn't that an amazing discovery? So be intense, choose to be intense, always dedicate your time, effort, and efficiency towards intensity. Make intensity your goal. Make intensity your path. And that is the shortcut for success. This is Rani for the Sattvic method. Please visit our Mother's Day program. We are offering large number of days, so please attend those sessions and you will find more and more tips like this for your success. Thank you all for watching today. Any questions, please post them. I love to answer all your questions. And again, I wish you all the success. See you next week. Bye.